mooning for some jazz.
Let Nothemba Madumo serve you up some jazz and beyond.
On 702 and CapeTalk.
Jazz and Beyond on 702 with me, Nothemba, where you come for the jazz, you stay for a good time, and of course for the great conversations we normally have here on Jazz and Beyond. And our guest today is one of those artists whose story, I must tell you, is every beat compelling as her music. She's the one who possesses a rare combination of technical excellence, emotional intensity, and honesty, as well as intellectual curiosity. And I'm talking about Spha Mdlalose. She's our guest today on Jazz and Beyond. Hello, Spha. How are you?
Hello, Sis Nothemba. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And very happy to have you here on Jazz and Beyond.
Thank you.
And especially because, you know, you represent a lot of things that I feel a lot of young people coming into the industry are weary about and also wonder whether or not it's worth the effort. Because not only are you an accomplished singer, musician, and a mother and academic and an educator and all these things that go with it, especially as a mother, because we always think about a music career as one that goes on because that's what your passion is and that's what you focus on. But then comes relationships and motherhood and tontun. But without yet going into those details,
Yeah.
are you happy today?
I am.
With the space you are in?
I am. I'm absolutely happy, very content. Today's actually a special day. It's my birthday today.
Of course, yes.
So
happy birthday.
Thank you, fellow Cancerian. Thank you.
You know
yes,
us.
Yes.
We are the sweetest.
We are.
We are the most loving, most caring.
I think so too.
And we just always hope for the best every time.
Always. Glass always half full.
Absolutely.
But I think, today being what it is, I've been very reflective, and I am happy. I do feel like I'm at a place of contentment, and maybe that comes with age and wisdom. I don't know. I'm learning to trust the process, which is not very easy for me because I find myself to be quite impatient, and so there is always that feeling of not having done enough or not doing enough or not feeling like, things are happening at the right pace. But I'm learning that all things happen at the time they're supposed to happen. And I think that's true to my career as well. Things have kind of been placed there at the time that they were supposed to be there. So, yeah.
What are you content about? Which aspects of your life are you saying, maybe it's not yet exactly where you want it, but you're happy with where it is right now?
Yeah.
What aspects of your life?
I definitely think my professional life, I made a decision to be a mother, and I know that
it wasn't a mistake.
No, it was very intentional.
Lovely.
I think as an artist, I've always wanted to have a full life. So as much as I was devoting myself to the music and writing and singing and stuff, I also wanted my personal life to be full. And I think a lot of the times I find when I speak to women in the industry, it's almost like they feel like they have to choose the one or the other.
Really?
Because being a mother is a big sacrifice, and it might mean that you take some time away from your career, particularly if when the kids are quite young, you want to be there for those moments. So you take some time away from your career. And that can sometimes not be a good idea. Maybe you're at the peak of your career, all of those things, having to always consider the career and having children. And I think for me, I took the chance, and not even I took the chance, I wanted to be a mother. So I devoted that time to having my kids. And I think that's also why there's so much time lapsing between the first album and now this project that we're putting out. Also took the time to go and to sort of further my academic studies as well. So that was also very intentional as well. So I I'm content. I know that this journey, the way that it is happening, is for me, and the lessons that I'm learning are for me. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's journey looks like this, but I'm glad that this is something that I've decided to do.
On the note of you've always wanted to be a mother, because I think things are a little different, now in terms of choices women are making.
Yeah.
Your desire and your to be a mother, was it influenced by your upbringing?
Yeah.
And what was expected as in the culture of the family and maybe the outlook of the family? Everybody was like, I know when I grew up and I used to eat out of the pot and my mother would scream at me and say, "Don't eat out of the pot, you'll never get married." I guess that's why. Because as young girls, we are told that as to be a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And or to be a mother or to be a wife.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, was it your choice or was it the environment you grew up in made you believe you need to be a mother?
Yeah. So I definitely can't say that my environment hasn't shaped who I am. I think also on a more personal note, like I'm a firstborn girl. So there's definitely expectations that a firstborn girl has than anybody else kind of in the pecking order of children. So I can't necessarily say that it hasn't shaped that, but I do absolutely believe that it was my choice. It was my choice to go the traditional route and get married and kind of have that family set up. And I had that growing up, so I think maybe subconsciously that's something that I wanted to emulate. But in terms of choice and wanting and intentionality, I'm a nurturer at heart.
Cancer.
Yeah, I'm a nurturer at heart. So I've always wanted kids. Ironically, when I was younger, I obviously wanted more kids. But now that I have my two, I'm very happy.
And reality?
Yeah, no. Also economically, many things. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the family life that I've been able to build for myself. And I'm also incredibly blessed in the sense that I have a family structure that is very supportive of my other endeavors. So it's always a balance, it's always a dance, but I'm really, really blessed in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're still there on the family, even musically, did you grow? You didn't start off in the conventional, music school kind of, background. What was it like for you?
So I guess more personally was exposed to music from school. First kind of like saw a jazz band when I was in high school. I went to a great high school in Cape Town. Could always sing, so sang sort of at church, and I was again firstborn girl, so my parents would always just, if there were family members around, then I'd be called kind of entertain. So it was always kind of there, but not really nurtured. And it was always something that I knew I wanted to do, but not really sure how to go about it. And so grew up doing that, and then moved to Cape Town, and subsequently went to this high school where I was exposed to like jazz bands and like live music and instruments, and like really just absolutely blown away by that. And that kind of, I can say, is kind of my first taste of what it could mean. I started singing solos for the jazz band, and we'd perform everywhere on weekends, at the waterfront, at different spaces. And it was starting to become something that was more than, a dream. It could be, I started thinking it could be something that was a reality.
Sure.
Had great music teachers as well who were incredibly encouraging. and were always just like pushing me to the front stage. And
So going to study music was sort of like obvious.
it was obvious, but also not obvious, and not obvious in the sense that, so while I was performing at high school, I didn't necessarily do music as a subject. So I didn't do theory, I didn't play an instrument. Usually you start with recorder, then you move up to flute, then you play piano,
guitar,
guitar, none of those things. So didn't do any of those things. Was kind of just like just doing it on natural talent, really.
Okay.
And I think also when I think about it in hindsight, there is always kind of the idea that singers aren't not musicians, but they don't really think of the voice as an instrument. So I don't necessarily know if they would have been able to cater for me, even if I had wanted to do music as a subject and just focus on voice. But this is just in hindsight. I don't know. So the idea of going to study music was a possibility, but I didn't necessarily have the backing. I didn't have the foundation of it. So how it all happened was also kind of, I think, God, definitely. Because I went for the audition, the singing part, great, passed, amazing girl. Manje, when they're putting the theory things on the board, dizzy. dizzy. Try it. What's that? And I was just honest. I was like, to be honest with you, I don't know what this is, but if given the chance, like I could learn it,
Yeah.
because I do have the talent, and I do feel that those things that matters. And you can't teach the talent.
Sure.
You can teach the theory, but you can't teach, the actual thing. So it was a little bit of an unconventional journey, but we're here today.
Yeah, and then you studied jazz performance.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Did jazz performance, best years of my life, honestly. Was really like in a, and I was actually reflecting on this. I went to school with Zonke Konti, Taninduli, Benjamin Jafta, like really, I think like the great voices of our generation, So it was really amazing to be there. Also amazing to be there because I started the journey sort of on the back foot, in the sense that I obviously hadn't been exposed to theory and oral and all these other supplementary subjects. But because the standard was so high, I think I just was like adamant that I was gonna.
Lovely.
Yeah, adamant that I was gonna do it. I was gonna pass. I was gonna really, really do this thing. So yeah, like it's interesting when you think about it, because you don't always you're not constantly thinking about where you've come from, but it's really been a beautiful journey.
What I'm even more interested in is how then you decided, no, you're going to do an MBA and you're going to focus on something that was happening, that was evolving in the music industry, which was, of course, the digitization.
Yeah.
As well as and the visual artists element.
Yeah.
Tell me what drove that interest for you. What was happening that you thought, now here's a subject matter that needs to be researched?
Yeah. So I think when I went into the MBA, I was very adamant to study and to put out work that would be beneficial for the actual industry. So as much as it was a personal journey, I really wanted to add data, study that would lend itself to the industry at that time. At the time as well, streaming hadn't just come out, but there were a lot of conversations about streaming, how it was affecting musicians, how it was affecting income. I studied during COVID. So that was the time I think that we were really seeing, because we couldn't perform live. So we were relying on streaming. People were spending a lot more time at home, listening to a lot more music, consuming music. But at the end of the day, the artists weren't necessarily benefiting from that, from those transactions. So I was really interested in that, but also the visual arts element. I spoke to musicians and I spoke to visual artists because I really feel like as much as we're one creative industries, we kind of work in silos. So there's no real understanding of what a visual artist does. At the time, I was like, okay, what is a visual artist? What's the difference between an artist and a visual artist? All of those elements. And I was really intrigued by that and wanting to ask questions and figure out how this massive move to digitization had affected them, if it had been positive, and the connections between what the musicians were doing and what the visual arts were doing, if there were any.
What did you find, which was quite interesting?
So when I was looking at digitization, it was kind of broadly, so looking at social media as a means of digital media, but digital communication, looking at streaming, so digital kind of purchasing of music and that kind of thing for the musicians. What I found super interesting about visual artistry is that I spoke to a lot of artists who said that because they were talking about how they struggle to sell their work, particularly in traditional spaces like galleries, because galleries work on sort of like, you have one piece. So you'll have like one Mona Lisa, and the value of that Mona Lisa is based on the fact that it's a one of one. There's no other Mona Lisa. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas a visual artist can create duplicates of the same print, right? And because of that, they're not really seen as commercial. And there's kind of like I don't know, I don't want to say disrespect, but there's like they feel like traditional art houses don't really deem what they do as valuable because they use digital means to be able to produce it. They can use Photoshop. They can try and use different tools. Whereas someone who is painting, like a traditional sort of artist who's using stroke and that kind of thing, that does seem to be more technical. And so it's not really necessarily as valuable, and kind of like you're not seen as real art,
It as you're talking about it, it comes to mind as to, I think this is exactly what's happening even in other artistic art forms.
Yeah.
Where even with music.
Yeah.
If you say, it took me 6 months to write the song, rather than I woke up and it was there.
Yeah.
People put a lot of value with the time you
Yeah.
take to create something.
Yeah.
Rather than whether it's
Quick.
good or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or not, the end product. And also, again, you're talking about, the now AI element coming
Absolutely.
in, that now you're able to create something in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you think this is going to go? Especially because things are changing and
All
happening
the
so
time.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And walala wasala kind of situation.
Yeah.
We I could ask you about Indlele Kaya is an album you released some time back.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, we've been waiting, Pella. Why what's happening? While others are able to churn out music frequently.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoo. So
I
the
know it's a question that baffles me too.
Yeah.
Never mind the answer.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the AI conversation is a conversation that we are going to have for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that oh, Nkosi yami.
Izalazo.
What AI cannot do is do it live. And I think that's what people are seeing. There's been a whole lot to say about a particular artist who released a great EP or album. Everything was so beautiful.
We all witnessed that.
Yeah. No names. But
yes.
but when it was time to now launch this project, the live performance was not up to standard.
It was just disaster.
It was disastrous,
Not
right?
simple.
And so I think maybe there's a place for AI in terms of recording music, but people should not expect that what they get on the recording is what they're going to get live. And then we need to ask ourselves, is that what we are willing to accept? is that okay for us?
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not one to dictate what people should spend their money on and what people should be listening to. No. I'm an artist and I'm doing what I want to do, and I hope that people are listening to my music as opposed to other music as well. But I think that we need to ask ourselves about what we deserve as audience members and the quality that we are willing to accept.
Which brings the live element.
Exactly.
Which means if you want authenticity, honesty, and genuine art,
yes,
go see it live.
Go see it live.
Go see it live.
I'm Tola live, and and it's crazy because my experience is that the artists that I've been able to catch live, both locally and internationally, have been even better live. Right?
True.
They've been even better live because live is not just hearing the voice. It's understanding where the song comes from. It's getting a sense of the personality. It's really like getting a sense of who the person is, and that can't be shortcut.
True. Which also is what I do with my conversations with my guests, is getting a sense of what makes you tick, so that then we understand when we see you live and performing, or we listen to your music, that she said this about, and this is the kind of person that she is. Now we understand. So then we even connect even better to your sound and what you create and, compose, and even how you perform it.
Yeah.
So that when you're performing and we don't know why are you crying for
Ukhalelani ke manje.
the, kind of thing,
Yeah.
is because that song or that story or it does whatever it does for you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think also as a performer, you're looking for that. You're looking for that connection where someone comes to you and they're like, yo, ngailalela ingoma yakho ngakhala. Because it was about whatever. It was about your parents and what they did, and I was reflecting on my journey and what my parents did. So a song becomes more than just lyrics. It becomes like a memory. It becomes a story, And I think that, that's what we are cheating ourselves from when we say, oh, we will settle for AI, because then...
I mean, you've performed with so many musicians, and I mean, I don't know where I should even try and list them, because what I like is the range in style. If you are a Josh Groban fan, or an Oliver Mtukudzi fan, or maybe Yvonne Chaka Chaka, or even the likes of Mikasa Sibongile Khumalo and Monique Bingham. Can you, look from there to there to there to there. Who is, and I know you don't like to be boxed, because your voice is your voice. It can fit anywhere it wants. When Spha decides, I want it to fit there today.
Yes.
Kind of thing. But how have you, maybe I should say, your style of singing?
Yeah.
Who have you listened to that just thought, I like when she does this or he does this with a voice? I think I'll learn to do that and adapt it in my expression when I sing.
Sure. So it's lovely that you mentioned Mom Smungile, because before I met her, I listened to her quite a bit when I was in varsity. And the Live at the Market Theatre album is like my favorite of all favorites, because I think it showcased that range.
Yes.
And at the time, I was looking for a South African voice that felt close to mine, so like a soprano, but could do jazz, but also could do, she could do anything. She could do classical. You know what I'm saying? And so at the time that
if she was here and you asked her to do something for Amapiano, she would do it.
Exactly. Exactly. So at the time, I think I was looking for something that would resonate with me, because school is great, but I don't think that we were exposed to as many South African voices, even African voices. I think a lot of sort of the jazz study was based on the Ella Fitzgeralds, the Sarah Vaughans, which makes sense, right? Because when you are studying a particular genre you want to lean on or learn from the masters, which is great. But if you're studying in, 2000 and whatever, in South Africa, you're a black girl with a black voice and black influences, and you listen to gospel and you listen to R&B when you're cleaning, you want a voice that you can resonate with, that I can say, okay, at least these stories sound sort of like my stories. So Mam Sibongile was great in that sense. There's a singer called Liz Wright who I absolutely love as well.
Okay.
Obsessed.
You and is it Tandy? No, Tandy. Who are talking to? Who was also just like Zoe.
Yes.
Zoe Mudi.
Yes.
She was also like, Liz Wright was my
Liz
girl.
Wright in Kosiam. But also shout out to Zoe. Liz Wright. First discovered her when I was in varsity, and just like it goes back to that thing about hearing someone on record and hearing someone live, and how when they sing live it's even better, which is crazy to even consider.
You just
right?
fall over.
You like, how is it even possible? Sorry. So yeah, like I really, it's her voice, but it's the grace in which she delivers what she does. I never get a sense that she's doing anything that is I never get the sense that she's trying too hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's something very homely.
Yes. Like a hug, like a warm hug.
Yes, I'm at home here. I'm not performing.
No. And I'm myself, absolutely, all the time. But I also love that she's been able to weave kind of like the Southern gospel influence, but also the country influence, like, like just so many different facets to her voice. So love her. And then, I mean, someone who I've always been in love with is Jill Scott. Love her. I discovered her when I was in high school, actually, which is shocking to think about, because some of the subject matter is not high school subject matter. But
I like her realness.
I love that.
About life.
Yeah. Authentic, fully herself.
Yeah.
And I never get again, another one who's just like, I'm here, now what? That kind of attitude.
So do you then adopt some of these elements?
I try. I mean, I am fiercely myself when I'm on stage. So very much gonna like say something funny, very much gonna, like just absolutely free.
Yeah.
And it hasn't always been like that, but I think as I'm maturing, as I'm doing it more often, I'm learning that people come to experience you. They come to experience the music, absolutely, but they come to experience you, and so, and when you're on stage as well, it's my house.
Yeah. The difference about the Spha who performs as featured by another artist and Spha who performs on Spha's show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely think there are elements.
Because you're featured
a lot.
On a lot. When they are looking for a fabulous voice. Spha.
Was that? No, I mean, look, and I don't take that for granted. I definitely think it's always a great affirmation. I mean, there are millions of voices in this place in South Africa. So to get the call as I really am, I'm really always blessed by that. But when I feature, I definitely am more inclined to want to hear what the vision of that particular song is from that artist. Luckily, a lot of the time when I've featured, an artist has said, I listened to you on this thing and I thought you'd be perfect for this. So can you try and do what you did on the other thing on here? So there's always kind of like a reference point.
Okay.
They've listened to me doing something else and they're like, oh, you'd be perfect for this. So I don't necessarily feel like I have to strive on the collaboration, but it's always me being like, hey, what had you envisioned for this? And let me try my best to be able to express it in that way. Yeah.
And give it your best.
Yeah.
In sort of reaching the whatever vision that was.
Absolutely.
Fame has a way of convincing people, some people anyway, that they are more important than others or than they really are. But what reminds Spha that she's simply human? In other words, the things that keep you grounded, Nje. Because, there's that applause after performing, and then the lights go down, people go home, and then you have to be with Spha.
Yeah. And that applause goes by fast.
Yeah.
Very fast. I think for me, to my kids, I'm just mommy.
Yeah.
And, and kids are quite, I don't want to say narcissistic, but the world kind of revolves around them, as it should. So my kids are like, okay, that's nice that you had a great gig and it's sold out, but like...
Yeah, please, can I have a sandwich now?
Yeah, but I want a pancake. So can you make me a pancake? Oh, it's great. That's mama. Okay, that's nice. But
and you think that's important?
It's very important. It's important, and I need it for my life. I need it. I mean, sometimes I feel like it comes too soon. Like, can I have a day? Like, I had a great...
Can I just glow in this glow?
Yeah, can I stay here for like a little bit, And I mean, I always laugh. There was a time when... So I played the Joy of Jazz, I think it was about 2 years ago. And my parents were staying at my house so that we could travel together to the Joy of Jazz, whatever. So we do the Joy of Jazz, goes really well. And then the next morning, I have to like make breakfast because I have a tradition of making breakfast on a Saturday. And I was looking at these people. I was like, "Do you guys know that I just played the Joy of Jazz yesterday? Like, can someone Can someone make me? Yeah, can someone make me some breakfast up in here? Sorry, like, what is going on?" So it's that. I think your family being absolutely proud of you, but not treating you like a star. No.
Who tells you the truth, even if it's uncomfortable? Even if it's uncomfortable.
Definitely my mom. My parents have a really good relationship with my parents. My partner, my husband, absolutely. I've got some friends who also don't hold back.
No.
And it's hard to hear because I can be a little
sensitive.
I can be a little sensitive.
The Cancerian in you.
Yeah, but I've got friends who, a particular one in this room actually, who are like, girl, yeah. Can you get it together?
Yeah, because,
Yeah, it's Katsiyahamba, can you? Yeah. So, and it's good to keep those people around. I think the tricky thing about fame is that we can't, and I'm not talking about me, but what I've seen is that I think the more people sort of climb up the ladder and become more and more famous, they want to keep people around them. People who just say yes and comply, right? Because I think it's also beneficial for those people.
For sure.
So, because they gain from the relationship. So it's always good to have people who are just going to be like, hey, no.
Jazz has often been described as freedom. But for Spha Mdlalose, what does freedom not look like, sound like to you?
Sure. I think freedom sounds like who I am and being able to express that as authentically as possible. I think that's ultimate freedom, that authenticity, and be able to express from that place of not wanting to impress anyone but yourself. And yeah. Oh, what a difficult question. Yeah, it sounds like when I'm being my most authentic self. That's what I think it sounds like. And I think that for me personally feels like my ability to tap into the different sounds and expressions that I've been exposed to,
When you say when you are being your most authentic self.
Yes.
When does this happen? What environment needs to be there for that?
Well, on stage, I definitely think when the nerves are gone and I'm tapping into what's happening. So I'm in tune.
What nerves?
Nerves. The nerves is not over there. The nerves are there. And I think nerves are good because it means that I still care. But there is a moment, or there will be moments when we are all in tune. as a band, and it looks and feels different every time. But when the energies are all connected, there's something that you can't. I don't know. I don't even think it has a word. It's like a feeling, and you have to be in its orbit, but you have to be fully engaged with everybody else. That connective kind of energy, right? And I think that's when I am my most authentic self. When I'm not scared, I'm not constantly thinking, oh my goodness, am I in tune? Or what song is this? Are we well into the set? Or you know what I mean? When I'm not in my head, I think that's when it happens. When I'm not in my head and I'm listening to everybody giving themselves, and I want to also partake in that.
Do you as you're answering, I'm thinking about just in normal circumstances. I think for everybody, people are more authentic when you are not worried about what someone is going to say, how something looks, or how something sounds.
Yeah.
You're just inside of you, and
you're just doing it.
You're just doing it.
Yeah.
Where you're not thinking about the external forces.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely it. And as a band leader, it's often difficult because there's a lot of pressure. I am the vocalist, but I'm also the performer, but I'm also the entertainer. So you want to give people a show.
Music director,
timekeeper, solo rememberer, set list writer, so you wear all these titles and you're so aware of your responsibility. And I can, I've been to performances where I can see the person standing in front is thinking. They're not here. They are calculating
how many tickets have been sold.
Right? And the thing is, you have to, and it's, I don't think we talk enough about that difficulty of that, right? Playing all those roles. I mean, this in your work as a promoter and all the stuff that you do. To then realize, you are looking at this crowd, one who's quite about 10. But those people left their house to come and watch you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to.
And they want the best of you.
And they want the best of you, and they deserve the best of you, right? So you are on stage being this person, putting on the show and being this great person who's funny, and also managing the band. And, so there's so many roles, but I try as much as I possibly can is to, when I'm on the stage, I'm just Spha, the singer, the performer, who's giving people the music, and I want us to have a good time.
No, I understand. If jazz disappeared, but also because there has constantly been the threat where it is not being accommodated in the mainstream. What do you think? What part of South Africa's identity would actually disappear if jazz disappeared?
I think our history. There's so much of our history, the stories of our history that were encapsulated by jazz artists living at the time. I think about, I was listening to Bob Kaifas. There's a song. It's not traditionally a jazz song. I think it's Nothemba. He's talking about Wangishiya Nomalanga. And then he says, I was listening to it with my husband, and he was like, Wang Bizu Depa. So my husband's like, oh my gosh, then we start talking about history and storytelling. And he's telling me that Depa was apparently, I guess sort of like they recruited miners for the mines to go work in the mines. But just from one line, from one reference, is a whole sort of story. That I didn't know about. I didn't know that. I hadn't studied that. I didn't study political science, but he knew that because of his studies. And so when I think about jazz, when I think about the kinds of composers that we had, when I think about, someone with a musical catalog as vast as Brahu, for instance, right?
That's a story.
That is like,
That's a library record.
Yeah, that's a library of stories, of experiences, maybe that he didn't experience himself, but he saw others experience. He was also, he traveled and was able to look and give the perspective of someone who was South African, was living the South African story, but also, had traveled and seen how we were perceived. So I think jazz has been instrumental in that, in being able to archive our history musically and sonically. And so it would be a great shame if anything were to happen to the genre. I think too, when I think about some of my peers that I went to school with, but just some of the Joburg based musicians who've been able to form a sound that is so intrinsically Johannesburg jazz. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
but you listen to it and you're like, I already know where, I don't know who the artist is, but I have an idea of,
Sure.
And the same
As you would distinguish
a Cape Tonian. Yeah, exactly.
Or Eastern Cape.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But even that is that sort of like that sonic identity, is so important, and we'll be able to refer to it as we refer to, Zimqawana now. We'll be able to refer to that when we are older and we have kids and we tell them about the time when we grew up and we're making this music.
Just quickly on the issue of the young people coming up.
Yes.
Do you feel jazz has become more inclusive, and that it's no longer intimidating for young people who want to get into the space? Or are they still people who are, protective and gatekeeping?
I mean, gatekeepers will always be there. And some could argue that gatekeeping is positive, and some could argue that it's negative. And I think that's a discussion that we can have. But I do feel that there is a resurgence of kind of like a love for jazz. There's really cool platforms and really cool festivals. There's Kids Love Jazz. There are, even for myself, when I do shows, I'm always kind of struck by how young the audience is.
Yep.
And they know it's not like an audience who's just sitting there, like they are invested, like they know the lyrics. You know what I mean?
They sing along.
Sing along, even from a social media perspective as well, like the kind of people that I'm engaging with on social media are younger, my age, a little bit younger than me. So I do think that it is a little bit of a myth that jazz is not for the young people.
Yeah.
I think, we've seen it more and more, not only for myself, but for my peers and the people who are coming out to the shows. So there is definitely a love for the music. And even when, I get a lot of emails sometimes for people from younger students who are studying jazz and who are like, please, can you send me sheet music for this song? I want to perform it at a recital, or I want to perform it at a whatever, at a school thing, and that's also beautiful. It's incredibly affirming to know that we are no longer looking to the West, to sound like the West, but we're wanting to sound a little bit more like ourselves.
That has been a growing trend, actually.
Yeah.
That everyone is wanting to be a bit more true to who they are in terms of culturally and how they express themselves. Comes to your music now in terms of after your first album, Indlela Ekhaya. By the way, Indlela Ekhaya meaning the way home.
Yeah.
Have you found your way home yet?
I'm on my way. I'm still on my way.
Okay.
I'm on my, but I can see it. It's closer and closer.
It's in the horizon.
Yes, it's in the horizon.
And you released a single recently. Tell us about that.
Okay. So, released Nothemba, which we worked on a couple of, 2 years ago. and kind of shelved for whatever reason. But the song is really one for anyone who's going through a hard time. I think times are hard, times are tricky. And at the time that I was writing it, I think myself, I was kind of like disillusioned and just not really sure if this was happening the way that I wanted it to happen. Again, impatient, always wanting, and it's that. It's really just to encourage anyone who's going through a hard time. NgesiZulu sithi ungalahli ithemba. So don't do away with hope. Don't lose hope. And so the chorus is much about that. Uthi, kunzima, kona kunzima, nikohleli kube nzima, but ithemba ungalahli.
So are you going in that direction of now just working on a single because that was what came up in your creative moment rather than focusing on waiting, creating all music until it's enough to feel an album?
Yeah. So definitely working towards an album, a full body of work. The idea initially was to do an EP, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it makes sense to just do a full body of work. That's something that I can use more long term. It's also very difficult to, for instance, to enter the summers for an EP. They want a body of work that's specific, a specific length. So why not just release a fuller body of work like an album that then can be used sort of multi-purposely, that I can plug into different platforms and be able to do that.
When is that happening?
It's on its way.
Where?
Where Lily inganekwane. Yeah, it's on its way. I mean,
okay.
we are releasing another album. Another single now in line with Women's Month.
Okay.
Now in August. Hopefully we will be able to still play it on the show.
Yeah.
And
that's when it's gonna play.
Okay, perfect. And then the full body of the work will come.
Nice.
And I'm excited about this one. I think I really wanted to explore writing more. And so,
is there a theme with this one, or every composition comes with its own story?
Every composition comes with its own story, but I think when you make music, or there will always be an underlying theme. I can't really say that I figured out what the theme is for now, but when it's out, there'll be a theme.
By then,
there will be a theme. Yeah.
If your music was leading leading people somewhere, where, when they arrive, where would they be?
Oh my goodness, these questions is not ever. If my music was leading people somewhere, when they arrive, where would they be? So when they arrive, or where would I be leading them to? Like, what would the destination be?
Where are you leading them to? Could be a physical, could be a mental or spiritual, or destination. I'm not giving you answers here.
No, but bring them. It's nice, please. This is so difficult. In terms of like state, so not necessarily a tangible place, I hope that my music is... I mean, depending on the song. I hope that my music is leading them to joy. I think sometimes I worry that as South African Black people, like, we are always like either like hoping or like, it's always, which is ironic because the single I've released is Nothemba, but I just feel like I want to make music for joy, joyful music, like kube mnandi.
So you're leading us to a place of happiness and joy.
I want that. I really want my music to do that. I mean, not all the songs, but some of the songs. I've also heard like, that there are spiritual elements to the music and people feel very much connected to the divine or
Yeah.
to God when they listen to the music. So I would hope, or my intention is that it leads them there to like a level of, a connection or wanting a connection or vulnerability, I guess. Sure, this question is stumping me. My God.
Well, which is a great thing because if it makes you think about as you continue your musical journey, maybe think about where am I taking my people, which also comes to, and it's related to your research. Have you found that a lot of musicians are focusing more on chasing visibility rather than longevity?
And we had a long chat with someone about this as well. I do feel like there is a focus on visibility at the moment. And I don't think it's misplaced. I think that we should be able to use social media for our benefit and to be as visible as possible. But I think that we need to, I don't even know how to say this. Each person needs to figure out for themselves what their thresholds are. Like, what is too visible? Visible to who? What am I letting people into? Because not everyone, I know I don't have the capacity to be churning out like social media posts every 2 minutes. But if someone does, that's fine. Like that's, so I think it's a matter of being able to figure out what works for you.
And also the intention of the post, do you want us to know what you had for breakfast, or you want us to know the kind of strings you buy for your guitar that makes it sound the way it does. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Or maybe you post both.
Yes,
because I think more and more, and I'm finding this as well, like, working with a team that's helping me sort of put content out there and stuff. People want to get a sense of who you are. Like, they love you as an artist, but they want to get a sense of who you are.
Yes.
Like what does your day look like? What, when you go to rehearsal, what does it look like? So it's for me, it's been a very weird thing, sort of, because I'm just like, hi man, I just want to perform. Like traditional artists, you just want to sing, man. Like all this other stuff is unnecessary. But I'm learning so much about my audience, and learning so much about myself, through the process.
Yeah.
And if the platforms are there, why not?
Talking about learning.
Yeah.
What did you find you had to unlearn about yourself for Spha to be here today?
Shoo. That,
because we all develop habits or adopt habits that either hinder our growth or hinders us seeing things that then you find, I have to stop seeing things this way or stop doing this, otherwise I'm going to figure out. I think either musically or personally. Yeah, you can just say.
I think on the business front, being humble is not going to help you get anywhere. So like
being nice.
Yeah, being
because
nice.
They think being nice is being weak.
Oh, my dear.
Being nice is being weak.
Yeah. Being like, we can negotiate. No.
Yeah, ne? Okay.
Yeah. Say your rate, and if they can't meet it, then it is what it is. There'll be another time. Next time. Now for next time.
Are we seeing you perform somewhere soon?
Yes, you are absolutely seeing me perform somewhere soon. So quite excited. I'm giving so many scoops on this today.
Who else are you going to give them to?
This is also true.
Yes.
Also cancer to cancer.
Thank you.
Have a Women's Day gig coming up, a Women's Day performance with Spha incredible singer.
Lovely.
Love her. On the 9th at Sangai as part of the Just Sangai Jazz Session. So excited about that. It's going to be a daytime show. So please come through with your woman or your mom or someone to enjoy some really, really good music.
Okay. We're wrapping it up. I've got quick ones now.
Okay.
So you don't
Not
need
deep ones.
No. I've got quick. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sunrise or midnight?
Your sunrise. Sunrise. Give me a good sunrise.
Piano or voice?
Both?
Can you play the piano, by the way?
I say I play piano, but not in public.
Because I have a piano outside.
I know.
It's
Voice.
waiting for you.
Voice.
One word to your children.
Shoo, a word.
Wait.
Okay.
One word your children would use to describe you.
My son would probably say fun.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter would probably say, she's 3, so her vocabulary is not like very vast. She'll probably be like kissy. Because I'm always like, give me kissy. She's like, no.
Oh, that's sweet. One word that your band would describe you.
Oh my goodness. My band, what would they say about me?
Oh, she's cool.
Yeah, I hope they say I'm cool. I'm easy to work with. I know that's not one word, but I'm hoping they say I'm easy to work with. Yeah.
Okay. One stage you wish you would perform at.
Oh,
that
because
you have never performed at.
Okay, this is like a manifesting moment.
Yes.
We'll come back to this when this happens. But definitely North Sea, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. If not, why not?
Why not?
If not, why not? Yeah.
Universe.
Please, I'm putting it out there.
Is there one habit you'd like to break?
Self-sabotage and procrastination.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Do you want success or do you want significance?
Shoo. I would hope to think that they can coexist, right? Yeah, the binary makes me kind of, I would hope to think that they could coexist, but significance, yeah, those who know must know.
Yeah, and when you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leads me to my last one.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz is?
The music that changed my life.
Hands off. There's nothing else I can say.
Drops mic.
Oh, Spha, thank you so much for coming. And you're such a pleasure to talk to. And I love your story.
Oh, thank
and may it continue to grow and blossom. North Sea, here she comes.
Yes. Putting it out there. Thank you, Sis
Absolutely.
Nothemba.
Jazz and Beyond is happy to have you.
Blessed to be here.
Come for the jazz and stay for the good times.
On Jazz and Beyond with Nothemba Madumo.
On 702 and Cape Talk.